Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Alimad and here I talk everything movie reviews, movie conversations, and TV shows. So if you're seeing my channel for the first time, you're welcome. Please feel free to subscribe and become a part of this Nollywood club, Nollywood family, right? And to my regulars, thank you for always coming back. My voice might be a little low today. I am just recovering and my voice was gone for 48 hours, guys. I couldn't speak all through from Saturday night up until this evening before I could start speaking. I'm not even joking. So, yeah, please endure with me. I just had to force myself because I need to make this video, right? I was going to do episode 3, 4, then 5, 6 of Anikulapo, but I thought, there's no need. Now I've seen everything. I was supposed to do it when I was watching. But like I said, I couldn't speak. So, yeah, I couldn't shoot at the time or record rather. So, yeah, I'm doing all of it all at once. And I'm just going to do like an overview of the entire series, what I think about it, all of that. Right. So, after watching episode 1 and 2, I came on here to say that it looks ambitious. Those two episodes were more like opening episodes. We got to see Arolake and what she was on about. We got to see Saro as well and what he was currently, doing and where their lives at basically. So obviously going into 3, 4, 5, 6, I had good expectations, right? And I was looking to see where the story would move on to or progress onto. And then we started getting introduced to more of these characters. We got introduced to Bashorun's character played by is it Owobo or Owo? I think it's Obo Ogunde, the son of Obatogunde, and then many other characters and many other storylines as well, like the one of the king's daughter Omomi and a friend Awolaron, and then the one of Kuranga, the old Ede story, and all of that. So many subplots were getting developed, and somehow I was mad at it. I was interested solely in Bashorun's story out of all the other subplots that he tried to develop. But also, Bashorun's story kind of, relied majorly on many other things. Like, he was very ambitious. He wanted his son to marry the king's daughter. He wanted to have power to, become very powerful in the land and all of that. So, yeah, I understood that it was tied to so many other things, and maybe that's why it couldn't stand alone or it couldn't be properly developed. But I had issues with that basically. And then Arolake's story as well. I kind of just felt like there was so much potential for that story to become more, but it just fell flat, right? But let me talk about the things I liked, and then we'll go into the things I did not like about the film. So, to the things I liked about the entire series, when I say film, please know that I'm talking about series. It just sometimes, yeah, you just say film, right? One thing that I think I really, really liked would be music. Music for me was a standout, right? It was so good. At the premiere, we were introduced to the lady who sang all the songs on the series, Tele Dalashe. You guys can check her out. I think she has songs, on streaming platforms that you can listen to. Tele Dalashe, and she has such a beautiful and powerful voice. If you watch this series, you can attest to that. Her songs were beautiful, right? So yeah, music. I think Kunle Afolayan also knows how to source for talent, and yeah, he did that with the artist that sang the song. And then costume as well. I'm going to say that I loved every bit of the costume. And I'm not even trying to exaggerate or anything. I just loved everything. From Bashorun's hair to all the ladies and their hair, to the makeup, to the dress they were wearing, the shoes. Like, everything just felt very detailed for me. Like, it spoke Yoruba culture. I was seeing different kind of Aisha, Adire. Like, they were just so nice to see, right? So I really like that. I'm also going to speak on like Bashorun being the villain. I liked that he was casted for that role because I think as much as there were many other people that would probably have played it, I think he was perfect for the role. You know, he had this demeanor like about him, or that surrounded him, that was just so calm. He wasn't the kind of villain that had to be snarling and smirking and making weird ass faces, right? Not to shade to anybody, but you get what I mean. He was the kind of villain that you will fear because you're like, this person, he has that evil laugh. Do you understand? Like, he has this cute, crazy ass, badass smile that he gives at the end of every speech that makes you feel like, oh my god, this person is dangerous. Do you understand? So yeah, I really like that. I'm going to talk about set design as well. I think it was really good. I also liked that Arola Won, is it Arola Won? Yeah, Arola Won had an obi. This is something that wasn't really relevant to the story, but it just made him feel like an actual person, like a real character. Because to be honest, I wasn't really feeling him as a person, like as the old story with liking a babe and whatnot. It was very annoying to me because I'm like, if you like the babe, open your mouth and talk. What's all this shy boy thingy that you're doing? It reminded me of the griot as well. But yeah, I like that he just had a sculpting hobby. Like, at least there's something that you can do with your hands. Abby. Cinematography. I feel like when it comes to Kunle Afolayan, you don't even have to talk about cinematography because you know that he would eat, right? Also, Lai and the three ghosts. I liked Lai's character because I felt like it was different from what we're used to seeing Lai, and like it's out of what like a lot of skate makers are doing like in Nigeria, right? I mean, when you see Brother Shaggy in a film, you know that, oh, he's playing the funny guy role and it's going to be the normal Brother Shaggy character that we see on Instagram. But with Lai, it's different, right? He's not the lawyer. Do you understand? He's not playing any of the roles he play online. He's playing a totally different person. And I just like that. Like, it was just chilled, right? Yeah, that would be the things I liked. I'm trying to make this video or this audio as short as possible. Yeah, so let me just mention this in between now. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, my voice is already going down. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button. Like, please drop loads and loads of comments. What did you like so far about Anikulapo, the series? And yeah, let's go into the things I did not like. First off, I didn't like that it was very, very slow. I kept checking my time. I mean, this was very long, right? And it was still very slow paced. If there were so many activities packed into it, that would not make me realize how long it was, that would have made sense. But they didn't have enough activities going on that would make me feel like, okay, this wasn't long. Like, I was seeing the Chiefs way too many times, the Oyo Messi. I was seeing them way too many times, having beer parlogists. I don't care. Like, you don't have troubling shit in your village. That's why you get to sit down and be chatting shit. Because if you do have things that were bothering you, you people will not be sitting and just be chatting and not doing anything. Another thing I would say I didn't like was the fact that they kept telling us a lot of things, but we're not seeing it happen. They kept talking about, oh, how Ede people were attacking them. We didn't see anything happen. They kept talking about the wrath of the Akala bird. Nothing. People would die, this and that. Nothing was happening. Nothing. They just kept saying all these things, but it felt like there was no progress in the film. Another thing would be the concept of time and distance. Guys, I was so angry at this because they kept saying, oh, this has happened within 3 years, something 3 years. These people have been missing for 3 years. We're looking for strangers that have come into your village within 3 years. And I'm like, have they forgotten that they had a film, like a part 1, where Anikulapo and Arolake had lived in, is it Ojumo? Yeah, they had lived there for years. Kunle legit, sorry, not Kunle now, Saro legit got someone pregnant. She had kids for him. So what do you mean 3 years? Like, what are you saying? why is the concept of time not put into consideration? It actually stresses me. Like, a lot of times Nollywood films just forget that there's the concept of time and distance. Even distance, right? At the beginning of the old Arolake movie, I'm sure everybody has seen this, so if there are spoilers, I'm sure that's fine. When Arolake was going to pay Oyo a visit, right? And she was sending Akin to go for her. It kept going and making it seem like, oh, they were coming from really far distance. And then suddenly, it became a thing of 5 minutes also ride or whatever, right? The king was coming and going. Awolake was coming and going. Like, what happened to when, it felt like there was an actual distance between these communities? Like, it was just very annoying for me because this is something that Nollywood does a lot, and every other time we come and hear and talk about it, and then we say these things, and it feels like nobody is taking notes or nobody is, taking feedback. I mean, it's not like I'm one of the biggest critic or anything, but I'm pretty sure that one or two persons have watched my videos before and they can attest. And I'm not the only person that says it. I listen to a lot of critics as well. I watch a lot of critics as well. And these are things that people always talk about. Concept of time is very important. Which movie was it that we couldn't even tell the difference between 10 years ago and this year because everybody looked the same? Like, these people were actually looking younger than when they were ending part 1, right? Somebody was calling Saro 30-year-old man. After how many decades Saro is still 30? How? Where is time in all of this? And I was very, very angry at that. I'm not even going to lie. It kind of just made everything confusing to me because I'm like, am I the one that did not pay attention in the film? Or like, what's happening here? Like, somebody let me know what's going on. Another thing is, I was really interested in Arolake's story. Truth be told, I was really, really interested. But I feel like they just did not cover it, right? I was very confused by her choices. Like, her choosing to start wearing a niqab when a lot of people already know and see you, right? And then you're saying, oh, because they're looking for you, you start wearing a niqab. Like, so how does your niqab change anything, really? And then you're still doing the same things that has drawn attention to you. You're still giving out money. Even the old, the Egbere helping her. Like, why did they help her? What was special about her? No context to that, nothing. And I don't know, maybe I don't know a lot of mythical stories enough, but I just feel like I just believe that in mythology there's always consequences for every action. Like the money pouch, right? Like, what was the consequences to it, or what was the attachment to it, right? If you get this, you must do this, all those kind of stuff. Even Saro staying longer than he should on earth. Like, what you gave somebody a mission, right? And then he has gone. These people, they decided to help him, even though he killed them, ruined their lives. They decided to help him, start his life, live for 3 years. After 3 years, what were the consequences of his action of staying, right? Like, aside him losing the things that these people actually gave him, there was nothing. There were no consequences. So it was just weird to me to be. I feel like I'm just intertwining everything into each other at this point. And then the whole Ede story, I'm not even going to lie, I hated it. It just made the chiefs look like terrible people to me. I hated it so much. I don't even want to speak on it. It was unnecessary, right? Let me talk about the guards in this show. There was no single scene where the guards were worthy to be guards. All of them were useless. All the guards in this film. It was like, why are you here? You can't even protect the person they asked you to protect. Like the Arola care guards, they didn't do anything. Those people came and they took her in 1 second and she was just gone like that, right? So all of them, all the guards, they were just useless. I'm also going to talk about all the bad decisions that I think they made in this film. And I don't understand why all the characters had to make such bad decisions. Let me start with Saro and his wife, right? The babe, Olatorera, yes, that's her name. Olatunrera deciding to leave her family and going to join Saro or become his wife or whatever. It happened in episode 1 or 2. And to be honest, I was hoping that as we went further into the show, we would get a bit more context as to why she made that decision. But it was just blinded by love, really. Like, that's all it was. She was just blinded by love. And she made such. But yeah, okay, fine. Rolake, guys, this woman stressed me so much. First off, you get a money pouch, you become rich, you start spending lavishly, not lavishly actually, start helping people, actually, because that's what she did. She started helping people, all of that. It drew a lot of attention to you. This man that loves you tells you, oh, people are looking for you, and this whole thing is drawing attention to you, and you say, oh, I'm not running, I'm going to stay, and you know what, I'm just going to start wearing the cob, and you know what, I have a plan to actually meet with the king himself, right? And our whole plan was to go and beg the king. Guys, I have never been so disappointed in a woman before in my entire life. Aolake is premium disappointment. Because what do you mean that you that have amassed this much wealth, that you can literally travel to anywhere you want, you decide to go back and beg the king? And mind you guys, before she left the palace in the film, she was never really liked in the palace, apart from the king, who was very much in love with her. She was never really liked. All the other wives didn't like her. She didn't feel like she fitted into the palace. She didn't feel like she was a queen because she couldn't have kids. The other wives hated her. So like in my head, I'm like, I don't get it. So at first I was thinking, okay, maybe it's because she wants to make sure that she doesn't get to run anymore. I mean, if the king forgives her, she can walk in freely at any point. But it wasn't making any sense because you were just allowing this man into your bed and you were just being used. Because eventually, the king did not actually do anything for her. Now, let me also talk about the king, since we are already on it. This man has to be the most stagnant character with so much like, first off, he didn't act like a king. He was just there like one of the extras, right? He could not make any decisions himself. He could not think for himself. It was just stagnant. It was just there. It was just a figurehead as okay, the Alaafin of Oyo. Did they call him Alaafin? I don't think they called him Alaafin. But okay, the king of Oyo. A whole Oyo. And he was just there, doing beer apologies with his chiefs, fighting with Bashorun and his chief, his priest as well. That man, I don't even have words for that character. The character let me down. The character really did let me down. I was so sad about it. Now let me talk about Bashorun as well. This thing is going to be long. I wanted it to be short. But okay, let's talk about Bashorun for a bit. Even Bashorun's character, it felt like he had so much that was going to go on for him. It felt like he was going to do so many amazing things. And suddenly, this man just doesn't do anything. Bashorun's decline in character development, it just hurt me, right? Like, it went from looking like he had it all figured out, he had a whole good ass plan that was going to, help him get everything, to someone who just making actions on impulse. Like, he was just acting based on impulse, right? Last minute things, like things that didn't make sense. Even the whole plan to kill Arolake, it didn't make sense to me like that. Like, okay, what's the motive behind it, right? Like, the motivations for some of the actions that were made in this film, I do not understand, right? I would not forget this. Conveniences, guys. I feel like in every of my Nollywood film review, if you go through it, you will see me talking about convenience. I hate convenience so much, right? First, the whole process of finding Saro. So are you telling me that can't we just start ranting to everybody every other time? Or like, did Adegoye look like one sweet buddy to him that he just started ranting about Saro and he just mentioned Saro in there somehow, or what? And even Arolake, how they just found her, and how, somebody that had guards that were protecting her. somehow people can peep through her window and someone can peep and see her. It was just very, very, very lazy to me, right? Now, I'm just going to end this here. There were so many other things that I didn't like, but majorly, like I've mentioned, is the story. The story was lacking in so many ways. It felt like they touched on every other aspect of the film apart from the story. It's like they forgot that they made a film one and they just based the story on something else, because even the main characters were not the main characters per se. I mean, they were still main characters, but their stories were not standalone stories like they were before. Other people were developing other characters, which I do not have a problem with. But if you're going to develop other characters, close up the ones that you have really well, or at least develop these ones really well, because they didn't develop them well. So it just felt like everything fell flat. This one fell flat. This one fell flat. This one, like, nobody now had a good arc. Well, apart from Arolake, she did have a little bit. I mean, we got into our story more than anybody else, right? So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. I don't want to say more than I already have. I didn't like this series. I'm not going to lie. I had good expectations, but it let me down in so many ways, and it left me confused. Right? If I watch a series and at the end I'm actually more confused than I was at the beginning, then I don't think it fulfilled the purpose it was supposed to. Well, that's just for me. And I mean, I'm sure you all have thoughts and opinions. This doesn't take away from it being a really good project. You know, I'm speaking on like cultural wise, right? Like, it really did go and explore the Yoruba culture when it came to outfits, language. I remember something. Other people, please. One reason why other people were acting like they were Arabic men, that one was so annoying. You just started your Islam. Why were you acting as if no, you came from Arab, you came from Qatar, you came from Mecca and Medina? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm just going to add that. But yeah, Anikulapo, I'm sure many of you have seen it, so I'm not rating it. Oh, should you watch it? No. I'm not doing all of that. I'm just here to just share my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with some of the things I said? If there are other things you think I didn't point out, which I am sure, because I mean, there's so much to point out. You can let me know in the comment section. If you do have thoughts you'd like to share, please do that in the comment section. And for the reason why you won't be seeing a lot of pictures is because the way YouTube have been flagging people videos lately, I'm just trying to be safe. I got 2 strikes last year. I'm not trying to get any right now. So yeah. And I'm going to end this video here. This is so long. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.